Alright guys, so nowadays everybody only talks about AI and robots, and we kind of forget about all the cool stuff that surrounds us. And since this channel is Intelligence Diaries, I want to remind us all about these tiny, sometimes not tiny, but intelligent and fascinating creatures that are like all around. And I'm not gonna bore you much with science, but I just want to give you some cool facts and some interesting information that you can like brag about knowing and maybe tell your kids. And I'm sure you will be amazed too. So let's just dive into it. So these guys have been here long before us, before mammals, before birds, and even before dinosaurs took their first steps. Insects, the original engineers of Earth. They are the oldest rulers of the land, air, and even water. For over 400 million years, they've evolved into the most diverse and successful life forms on the planet. Insects are indeed the most successful creatures on Earth. There are more than 1 million species of them, and they make up more than 80% of all known animal species. They come in all shapes, colors, and sizes, from tiny ants that weigh almost nothing to huge beetles that can be as big as your hand. Intelligence in insects doesn't look like ours. They don't have massive brains or facial expressions or language as we know it. Picture a honeybee hovering outside your window. Its brain is smaller than a pinhead. It contains fewer than 1 million neurons, while we are packing 86 billion. Yet, this tiny creature navigates complex landscapes, communicates through intricate dances, and makes split-second decisions that would challenge a computer. Here's the twist. Insect intelligence doesn't play by our rules. Forget the furred bros and verbal debates of human thought. These tiny marvels operate through something far more mysterious. Distributed networks that blur the line between individual and collective genius. A single ant carries partial solutions in its tiny head, but the real magic happens when thousands of these fragments combine into a superintelligent swarm. It's like having a brain scattered across an entire city, where each citizen holds just one piece of an enormous puzzle, yet together they solve problems that would stump our most brilliant minds. Well, let's start with the most annoying ones we all know, mosquitoes. These tiny insects that we find all over the world. There are more than 3,500 species of them. They have a small, delicate body with long legs and a needle-like mouth that lets them drink blood from people and animals. But not all mosquitoes bite. Only the females do, because they need blood to produce their eggs. Mosquitoes are much older than humans. They first appeared more than 100 million years ago when dinosaurs were alive. Did you know mosquitoes can smell us from nearly 50 meters away and find us by the carbon dioxide we breathe out and the smell of our skin? Some mosquitoes are dangerous because they can carry diseases like malaria, dengue fever, or Zika, but many are harmless. Even though we may find them annoying, mosquitoes are a key part of nature. They serve as food for many birds, bats, and other creatures. Mosquitoes are surprisingly tough. They can survive freezing temperatures, and some can live in icy Arctic lakes. They are also very light. A mosquito typically weighs less than a small piece of paper. Did you know that mosquitoes' wings beat up to 1,000 times per second, creating that high-pitched buzz we all know so well? Okay, the other annoying guys, the flies. They are also some of the most successful insects on our planet. There are more than 160,000 species of them. They come in all shapes and sizes, from tiny fruit flies to big horse flies. Flies have a small, lightweight body with large compound eyes that help them see all around and avoid danger quickly. They first appeared over 200 million years ago and have been flying around much longer than humans have walked. Did you know that a fly's wings can beat more than 200 times per second, and some species can perform amazing moves in the air, like hovering, flying backwards, or turning instantly in any direction? Flies taste with their feet and use their antennae to smell food from far away. Some, like the fruit fly, are very useful in science and genetic research. Flies may seem annoying, but they are an important part of nature. They break down waste, help pollinate flowers, and serve as food for many other creatures, from birds to spiders. And here's a cool fact: a fly can react faster than we blink, making it hard to catch. Without flies, the world would be a very different place. Now, wasps. They are fascinating. There are more than 30,000 species of them all over the world. They come in many colors and sizes, from tiny wasps you can barely see to large ones that are nearly 5 centimeters long. Wasps first appeared around 145 million years ago, during the time of dinosaurs. Did you know not all wasps sting? Many species are solitary and completely harmless to people, and some are incredibly helpful, acting as natural pest control by hunting other insects that harm our crops. Wasps can build amazing nests from chewed wood and saliva, making a kind of paper. Some, like the potter wasp, sculpt tiny clay pots for their young. Wasps can recognize each other's faces, an ability that's rare in insects, and they communicate through smells and movements. Certain species, called parasitoid wasps, lay their eggs inside other insects, and when the young hatch, they eat their host from the inside. Wasps may seem aggressive, but they are a key part of nature, keeping insect numbers balanced and helping flowers by pollinating them. Oh, nice ones, the bees. Wonderful and hard-working insects. There are more than 20,000 species of them all over the world. They come in all sizes, colors, from tiny stingless bees to large bumblebees. Bees first appeared over 100 million years ago, when dinosaurs were still roaming the earth. Did you know that honeybees can do a special waggle dance to tell their friends where food is? And that a single bee can visit up to 5,000 flowers in a day. Some species, like bumblebees, can perform buzz pollination. They grab a flower and vibrate their flight muscles to release the pollen. Bees have tiny hairs all over their bodies that help them collect pollen, and their back legs act like small baskets to carry it back to their hives. Certain bee colonies can have up to 60,000 members, all working together to care for their queen, raise their young, and produce delicious honey. Without bees, many of our food crops and flowers would struggle to reproduce. And then these cute little guys we see in cartoons. Ants, incredibly strong and organized insects. There are more than 12,000 species of them found almost everywhere on Earth. They first appeared over 100 million years ago, around the same time as the first flowering plants. Ants live in complex societies called colonies, which can have millions of individuals working together like a single superorganism. Did you know some ants can carry objects many times heavier than their body weight? They communicate using chemicals called pheromones, leaving trails to guide their friends to food or warn them of danger. Some ants farm fungus as their food, while others keep and protect tiny insects like aphids to collect the sweet liquid they produce. There are even soldier ants with huge jaws that defend the colony. Ants are everywhere, from deserts to rainforests, and their teamwork and survival skills make them one of nature's greatest success stories. Argentine ants, for instance, have formed a mega colony stretching over 6,000 kilometers across Europe. Oh yeah, and they can learn too. Ants can remember past paths, adjust their behavior when obstacles appear, and even recognize nestmates using scent. Their colony is like one distributed brain, with each acting as a neuron. And then there are butterflies. Monarch butterflies migrate thousands of kilometers from Canada to central Mexico, and they do it over generations. No single butterfly makes the full trip, yet each generation continues the journey. Scientists are still unlocking how they navigate, possibly using the Earth's magnetic field, the position of the sun, and inherited memory. Some butterflies can see colors that humans cannot, including ultraviolet light. Their transformation from caterpillar to butterfly also challenges how we think about brains. During metamorphosis, the insect dissolves and reforms, yet may retain memories it had as a caterpillar. That's like rebooting a computer and keeping the files. We shift our gaze to termites, we find yet another marvel of insect intelligence. Termites are blind, but they can construct massive mounds that regulate temperature and humidity using principles of fluid dynamics and thermoregulation. Each termite follows basic instinctive rules, but together they build sustainable cities. These structures have inspired human architects. For example, in Zimbabwe, the Eastgate Center, a building designed to be cooled without air conditioning, was modeled after termite mounds. Beetles are one of the most incredible groups of insects. There are more than 350,000 known species, making them the largest group of animals on Earth. They come in many shapes, sizes, and colors, from tiny, shiny ones to huge, strong ones, like the rhinoceros beetle, which can carry objects many times heavier than itself. Beetles first appeared about 270 million years ago, long before dinosaurs. Their hard, shiny shells protect their wings and bodies, helping them survive in many different environments, from deserts to rainforests. Some beetles, like the firefly, can produce light and attract mates or warn predators, while others, like the dung beetle, play an important role by cleaning up waste and recycling nutrients. Beetles have amazing strength and clever behaviors that make them true survivors in nature. Grasshoppers are strong and agile insects that live all around the world, especially in fields and meadows. They have powerful back legs that let them jump great distances, sometimes more than 20 times their own body length. Grasshoppers have been around for about 250 million years, long before humans existed. They use their long antennae to sense the environment and communicate by rubbing their legs against their wings to make a chirping sound. Some species can change color to blend into their surroundings and avoid predators. Grasshoppers eat mostly plants and can sometimes gather in huge groups called swarms, which can cause serious damage to crops. Despite this, they play an important role in nature by helping recycle plant material and serving as food for many animals. Locusts are one of nature's most powerful and surprising insects. Normally, they live quietly as solitary grasshoppers, but when conditions are right, like after heavy rains that cause their numbers to grow, they suddenly change both behavior and body shape. This transformation, called phase change, turns them into swarming locusts that can gather in millions and even billions, forming huge clouds that darken the sky and travel across continents. These swarms can fly up to 150 kilometers a day. These swarms can fly up to 150 kilometers a day, destroying crops and causing serious problems for farmers and communities. Despite their destructive power, locusts are incredible survivors with amazing strength and endurance. Their ability to switch from peaceful insects to massive swarms is one of the most fascinating examples of how nature can adapt and react to changing environments. Then there are midges, tiny flying insects that look like small mosquitoes, and there are thousands of different species all over the world. They are often found near water, like lakes and rivers, because their larvae grow in wet environments. Unlike mosquitoes, most midges don't bite people, though some species can cause irritation by biting. Midges play an important role in nature. Their larvae help break down dead plants and animals in water, cleaning the environment, and adult midges are an important food source for fish, birds, and other animals. Some midges even form huge swarms that can look like clouds in the sky, especially during warm evenings. Despite their small size, midges are key players in many ecosystems. Cool facts. Deep in the Amazon rainforest, something impossible is happening. A leafcutter ant, no bigger than your fingernail, hoists a piece of leaf 20 times her own weight above her head and begins a death-defying journey up a vertical tree trunk. She's not just showing off, she's part of the most sophisticated agricultural operation on Earth. These ants don't eat the leaves they cut. Instead, they're feeding them to underground fungus farms that stretch for miles beneath the jungle floor, complete with waste disposal systems, climate control, and antibiotic production that would make pharmaceutical companies weep with envy. Fungus they cultivate exists nowhere else on Earth. It's been collectively bred by ants for over 50 million years. But even that pales compared to what's happening above ground, where the real aerial warfare unfolds. Dragonflies are living fighter jets with a 95% kill rate, making them the most successful predators on the planet. Their compound eyes contain 30,000 individual lenses, each one tracking multiple targets simultaneously while calculating intercept courses that would challenge military computers. They can fly backwards, hover motionless, and execute barrel rolls that defy physics. When a dragonfly locks onto its prey, that insect is already dead, it just doesn't know it yet. And some more cool facts about the insects. In the microscopic realm, zombie apocalypses are real, and they're happening right now. The fungus Orphiocordyceps has turned biological warfare into an art form. It infiltrates an ant's brain, hijacking its nervous system like a master puppeteer. The infected ant abandons its colony, climbs a precise height, clamps its jaws onto a leaf, and dies. Then the fungus erupts from the ant's head like something from a horror movie, raining spores down onto unsuspecting victims below. Each species of ant has its own specialized fungal assassin. Over 400 zombie-making fungi have been discovered. Each one evolved to target a specific host with surgical precision. But perhaps the most terrifying superpower belongs to the seemingly innocent honeybee. Their stinger isn't just a weapon, it's a chemical warfare system that makes medieval siege tactics look primitive. When a bee stings, it releases alarm pheromones that essentially shout, "Attack here," to every bee within a mile radius. The stinger itself is designed with backward-facing barbs that ensure it keeps pumping venom after the bee dies, like a biological time bomb. But here's the twist. Bees can also weaponize heat. When Asian giant hornets attack their hives, Japanese honeybees form a living death sphere around the invader, vibrating their flight muscles to generate temperatures of 115 Fahrenheit, which is around 46 degrees Celsius, just hot enough to cook the hornet while staying below their own lethal limit. It's collective murder by sauna. Cicadas are known for their loud, buzzing songs and unique life cycles, sometimes spending years underground before emerging all at once. Fireflies are famous for their glowing lights used to attract mates. Lacewings and praying mantises are skilled predators, helping control pests. Then there are silverfish, tiny fast-moving insects that live in homes, and aphids, small sap-sucking insects that farmers watch closely. Navigation and sensory superpowers. Desert ants can count their steps and use polarized light patterns to navigate home across featureless sand dunes with pinpoint accuracy. Hawk moths can hover while feeding and use echolocation-like techniques, making ultrasonic clicks to jam bat sonar. Some butterflies have hearing organs on their wings that can detect approaching birds. Engineering marvels. Honeybee hives maintain temperature within 1 Celsius through collective wing fanning. They are living air conditioning systems. Weaver ants form living chains to pull leaves together, then use their larvae like living glue guns to weld the nest seams. Trapjaw ants have mandibles that snap shut at 145 miles per hour, that's over 200 kilometers per hour, among the fastest movements in the animal kingdom. Chemical warfare. Blister beetles produce cantharidin, so toxic that a single beetle can kill a horse. Some stick insects can spray boiling acid with sniper-like accuracy, up to 15 inches. Certain caterpillars incorporate toxic plants into their bodies, becoming poisonous enough that their predators learn to recognize them by sight. Time manipulation. 17-year-old cicadas emerge in precisely timed cycles, overwhelming predators through sheer numbers in what scientists call predator satiation. Arctic woolly bear caterpillars can survive being frozen solid for up to 14 years, essentially pausing their lives. All of these are not just fascinating creatures, they are alien intelligence operating by rules we're only beginning to understand, each one a master of survival strategies that evolution spent millions of years perfecting. In every garden, forest, and field, epic dramas of life and death unfold on a scale so small we barely notice, yet so complex they challenge everything we thought we knew about intelligence, cooperation, and the boundaries of what's possible in the natural world. So next time you see a bug crawling on your window, take a second look. You might be staring at a creature with ancient wisdom, alien intelligence, and a story that began before almost any other life on land. Insects are not just tiny, they're not just many, they are minds in miniature, and in some ways, they may be way smarter than we think.